In this video, just like our last video, I'm going to be talking about destructions. Destructions are techniques that attack our opponent's punches or kicks. And the title of this video is called A Good Set of Scissors. And I called it that because I'm going to be demonstrating what's called scissor guntings. So let's take a look at some examples of some scissor guntings, and then we'll come back and show you how to practice them on the wooden dummy. Okay, so let me show you guys a couple of scissor guntings. Now, scissor guntings come from Kali, so that means they're weapon-based techniques. So let me first show you what a scissor gunting is with a knife. So if John can come in here, and I have a knife, and he was to give me a punch. What I'm doing against this punch is I am going to slice his bicep and poke him in the eye. So I'm actually scissoring his hand in the middle of my knife and my empty hand, and that's kind of why it's called a scissor. But we're going to do empty hand scissor guntings in this video. So the way that one's done, and the way I like to do all my scissor guntings, is with a strike that comes before the scissor and then a follow-up strike that will come after the scissor. So right here I'm going to give John an eye jab, and then he'll punch me, and that same strike that I did with the knife would occur in his bicep, and that's the eye poke that gets the hand away from my face, and there's my follow-up attack. Okay, let me do it on the other side, John, so these guys can see. Okay, so here's the eye jab, scissor, and the follow-up strike. Okay, now sometimes, let's go back to a right lead. Sometimes when I give the person the eye jab, they just push it away from their face rather than punch me. So what I'm going to have to do is get to the outside by rolling it and then hit the bicep from the bottom. And that's another variation to scissor gunting. Okay, so I attempted to do an eye jab. He's pushing it down. So I'm just going to roll it on top and hit the bicep in that direction. Okay. A third way we can even do this is if John is grabbing my neck. Okay, so what I'm going to do before I do the scissor is going to be against his body and his arm. I'm going to wrench his arm to expose the kidney, and then I can slap the kidney off, and again, a follow-up strike. Okay, so again, you might have saw that in another video I posted. Okay, so I'm wrenching, scissoring the body and the arm, and then I'm striking. Let me do one more. Let's put you in a left lead, John. Yeah. Okay, what I'm going to do here in a left lead, probably a more appropriate strike to do from this lead is the groin strike because it's so exposed. But now if he goes to attack me with his lead hand, okay, I'm going to go out to the outside here and strike his bicep from the inside. So the scissor would actually come out across like this, and then I'll follow up. Okay, so that's another variation. So I went down low, and then I come across and I strike over on top. Okay, so let's look at those 4 examples of scissor guntings on the wooden dummy, step by step. So keep in mind, we're going to be doing a strike before the scissor gunting, and then another strike after the scissor gunting. So there will be 3 actions that I'm going to be showing you. Okay, so in the first gunting you saw, I'm going to be striking the eyes, finger poke to the eyes, and now the punch will be in between my hammer fist to his bicep and my deflecting eye poke again to his eyes. And that would be the scissor part, followed up by a trap and a punch. Okay, so eye poke, scissor the arm, trap and punch. Eye poke right in the middle of the 2 arms of the wooden dummy. Okay, and then drive a hammer fist into the bicep while you deflect or push the arm off, and then follow up with a punch. Okay, let me do it on this arm so you maybe see a different angle. Eye poke, bicep hit and deflecting eye poke, and a trap and a punch follow-up. One more time. Okay, so that was the first one. Okay, let's look at another example of a gunting that's not always done as an attack, but more as a block to my initial strike, or an attempt to block my initial strike to his eyes. So my opponent pushed my arm down, okay? So in order to get it on the outside so I can execute a scissor, I'm going to roll it. And now that clears the attack for the strike to the bicep, and then I follow up with my own. Okay, so again, I hit, and then it got blocked or deflected. I'm going to roll that to the outside, hit the bicep, and then follow up. Okay, another opportunity to do a scissor gun ting is not always against a punch. So in this case, he has me grabbed around my neck, and I'm going to sandwich his arm in between a kidney strike and a wrench to the arm that's around my neck. So you might have saw this in another video I did. So I'm going to brace his arm against my neck, and I'm going to wrench it and straighten it out, expose the kidney, and now the scissor occurs right here as I slap the arm off and I hit the kidney, and again I follow up with a trap and a punch. Okay, so this would be a scissor done with a wrench, kidney strike, remove the arm off your neck, and follow up with a punch. Okay, doing it on this side. Okay, there's the wrench, the kidney strike scissor, and the follow-up punch. Okay, let's look at another scissor gun ting. This time when we execute a groin strike, so our hand is low, below the attack, and now I'm going to scissor or sandwich the punch in between a bicep strike, an eye poke, and a follow-up punch. Okay, so again, I went down low, I came up, and then I followed up with my punch. Okay, so it was the groin strike, the scissor, and the deflection, and then a follow-up strike. Okay, so now that you have a good set of scissors, let's look how we can blend some of these scissor gun tings with the other gun tings I showed in my last video. Okay, so that video was a good set of scissors. Moving along in this series, our next video will be called Tie It Up, and hopefully we'll get that out to you soon. Thanks for watching.